Hi, is the volume okay? My name is Melanie Dante. I'm here with the Erotic Service Providers and also on behalf of the Sex Workers Outreach Project. I want to thank you very much, Assemblyman Quirk, for your detail to data. It is much appreciated. My statement is based on the conversation today and was not predetermined. And I would just want to share, I am defined as, by federal definition, as a former victim of U.S. domestic minor sex trafficking. I was kicked out of my house at 13 and brought back, and then permanently at 16. I worked in different aspects of the sex trade, eventually becoming what would be defined as a migrant sex worker within the U.S. and crossed the country numerous times in what was defined as the old circuit system. So though I'm from Philadelphia, I'm here because of the fact that I did work in California quite a bit, and I have a lot of associations here. That said, I also, in the early 90s, went to federal law enforcement after experiencing and witnessing what I defined as slavery, in that we were beaten up, we refused our pay, we were given bad checks, and we were told that that's just the way it was. My experience in the early 1990s with federal law enforcement would not bring me to go to law enforcement at this point in time. I came out last December because the current militarization of the way that law enforcement is working with sex workers in the sex trafficking construct is dangerous. And for those of us that thought that we had put that danger behind us by acclimating into mainstream society, we have been left without any services available to us, because for those identifying as consensual adult workers, we are not in the correct definition to receive any services or protection. So my entire life, which I had worked very hard to construct into a very safe and small normal life, has been completely blown out of the water with no resources available. And organizations like the Salvation Army and other faith-based groups, they are wonderful and they have a definite place. They do not allow for people like me to stay there, and they do not offer us any services. For those of us that identify as anyone who has experienced consensual sex work, or for those of us who are no other consensual sex workers, we are not allowed to integrate with those who are defined as current sex trafficking victims. These are problems that we have no voice to address, and the only people who work with us are the sex worker advocacy organizations, which are completely unfunded except for their sex work. These are all problems that we don't have voice for, and we are trying to find places where we can discuss that.